Hey everyone, Dominic here with the Ravening Hordes Game Club in Saskatoon. We're bringing you another 9th Age battle report. Today we're playing Vampire Covenant versus High Elves. The scenario we got was Frontline Crash with the Hold the Ground secondary. Let's get right into it. Here's the battlefield. We've got a building, forest, another forest back here. There's a hill. There's another forest in the very, very back there. And because this table's got built-in hills, we only considered the topmost part of the cliffs here as well as hills. So there's one back here, and then there's actually another one that's beyond the screen over here. My spell selection was like that. I've got the two Adepts. For the High Elves, he's got, I forget what the honor is called, but the one where he's got a couple number 1 spells. So he's got Favor Melodies, Awaken the Beast, Healing Waters, and the Oaken Throne. Into the deployment here. We've got a varkolak. We've got Barrow Knights with a banner, bat swarm, skeletons with sword and board, full command. There's my vampire general in there. He's an independent. There's another bat swarm. The big block of Barrow Guard right here with a Barrow King. They've got halberds. Beside that, there's a block of zombies. And way over here on the other side of the building, I put my vampire knights with a vampire courtier in there. For the High Elves, he's got Alien Reavers in the back there. 2 chariots with a commander BSB on a chariot in the center there. He's got a big block of Alien Reavers in the back, followed by some Sea Guard up front and a Sea Guard Reaper, one of the bolt throwers there. In the back there, he's got his, I believe it's a prince on a griffin, another unit of Sea Guard, another bolt thrower, and over here, way back here, he's got a big unit of sword masters with his mage in there. So that's kind of the board going into the game. I was actually pretty happy with my deployment here. I had a pretty good plan going in. The way it was looking, he had quite a bit of shooting, he was probably just going to pick me off at range. So I was going to plan to just throw the zombies within 6 of the center here in the forest. He'll kill them, grind them down, but by that time I anticipated of maybe getting 1 or 2 turns worth of the secondary, so then I could just ignore that and push on through afterwards. So after a little while of deploying, I ended up just dropping my army with the intention of going second, and I won the roll. I did make a vanguard move with my varkolak, and he just moved up over here like so. So into High Elves turn 1. The Alien Reavers move up way back here. Everything else kind of shimmies a little bit, not too terribly much. The Swordmasters head onto the other side of the forest, basically, and he goes right into magic. So in the magic phase, he casts the Oaken Throne. I just let that one go off. And then he tried to he did the Healing Waters on the Swordmasters, and I tried to dispel that and failed. And then he cast Favor to Melodies. He cast Awaken the Beast as well. I think all of his spells got off that turn. I went into shooting. He shot a knight off the table there, one of the vampire knights, and I believe he shot some skeletons this turn as well. And then we go into vampire turn 1. So here we go. I move up a little bit. Like I said, I just got those zombies up within range of the secondary. Everything else just kind of shimmies. Over here, the varkolak, he kind of moves up even more there, gets on the flank of those chariots. Here, I'm really not heading towards too far right away. I don't have anywhere to go, and I'm not actually too confident just taking on those Swordmasters. So my plan was just to hold back and see if he'll hold back as well. So into the magic phase, I believe I cast Pentagram of Pain on these guys, and he dispelled it. And then we did Haste in the Hour, we killed the unit champ. Got a Veil token for that. And then we raised the skeletons back, and we also raised a small unit of zombies up there. My plan there was just to use them as wounds for the occultism lore, so. But that is... yeah, that's pretty much it. Raised the wounds there, and that was it. So this is what the battlefield's looking like going into High Elves turn 2. So into turn 2, the Alien Reavers come up to block the varkolak. The chariots come down off the hill. The Sea Guard move up a little bit, both blocks. The Swordmasters move up a little bit, and then the the Knights of Rima, they come up on top of that hill there. That's that, and into the magic phase again. So into the magic phase, he did Favorite Melodies, failed to cast it. He did Awaken the Beast on the Swordmasters, and I tried to dispel and failed it. And then he tried to do Healing Waters on the Swordmasters, and he got that one off as well. And raised that unit champ back as for the attribute too. So into his shooting, they shoot, cause a wound to the varkolak. The bolt throwers pick off another knight, and the 2 units of Sea Guard go to town, pick off some zombies, and that's pretty much it for High Elves turn 2. So, going into Vampires turn 2, I see this one here, and this is actually where the Barrow Knights are, and they're just teetering between the flank and the front, so we call it a front for these chariots. Right now, they're actually 19, or 18, it was 18 away, and I had the +1 movement banner on these guys, so I actually only needed a 9. I was thinking, I go for that, because if I hit them, and if I win and he breaks, which I didn't think it would, but I'd be in the flank of the Rima Knights. And I think Carson was actually maybe thinking about fleeing potentially with the chariots, just so that didn't happen, because that would have been a huge amount of points all at once to lose and just collapse the flank. He did elect to stay, and they made it in. The rest of the units, they kind of keep trucking along, moving up a little bit. The varkolak passes his march test, and he comes on the other side over here. He's blocked by the bolt throwers actually can't see him because of the hill, which I forgot. Because my plan actually here was to charge them in my turn, but poor positioning on my play. But I am out of arc of the Rima Knights, so not the worst. Into the magic phase over here. What do we do? We went ahead and we did Haste in the Hour on the center unit of Sea Guard. Killed off, I think, 2 or 3 of them. Or no, I guess it would have been... yeah, I think I went for just the 1 on that one. Then we did Pentagram of Pain. Killed off 2 more. We tried to do Raise Wounds on the... one of the units here. I think it was the zombies up there. We tried to raise wounds on the zombies. He dispelled that, and I had some dice left over, and I just cast Spectral Blade on my Vampire Knights just to gain the extra Veil token. Yeah, because I think he dispelled Haste in the Hour. That's how that happened. So that was it for Magic. We go into combat. Up here with the chariots. I kill a chariot. He kills... he killed 3 of me. I'm actually up by 1 or 2, I believe it was. I can't remember what it was here. But he passes his break test, and he's sticking there. So that's the table going into High Elves turn 3. At the end of this turn, I did pick up a token for the secondary there. And that kind of spurs on the movement for High Elves too. So into the High Elves turn. This is kind of what things are looking like. He moves up the Rima Knights down off the hill, the other side of the hill. Moves the Leon Reavers onto the flank of all my chaff, essentially. It moves the Sea Guard both within 6, and he also moves the Sword Masters within 6, I believe. I didn't actually measure that one, but I'm pretty sure that they were close enough. So, into the magic phase. What did he do this time? He tried to cast the Favor of Melodies, which I dispelled. I did get rid of the Oaken Throne that he casted this phase as well. He cast Healing Waters on the Sword Masters. I let that go. And he brought back one of the Sea Guard. Into the shooting, he shoots off a bunch more zombies, shoots off another knight, and that's that. Into the combat, I kill the other chariot. He does 2 more wounds to me. He's down again. Passes his break test again, so he's still sticking there. And that's what the table's looking like going into Vampires turn 3. So Vampires turn 3, here we go. The remaining knights, the Vampire Knights, they charge this block of Sea Guard up here, and he elects to hold. He may have even stand and shot, but didn't cause any wounds. I can't quite remember that. These bats over here were on the flank. They declare a charge. He flees, which opened up these zombies here to declare a charge against the flank of the Swordmasters. So they're going in. Over here, the varkolak remembers that he couldn't see the bolt throwers over the hill. So instead of being silly, I just moved back on this side of the hill to threaten the rear of the Ryma Knights, as well as I assumed at this point that those Barrow Knights aren't going to do the trick anymore now that there's nothing that's easy to kill. Elsewhere, we just continue moving up. The failed charge on the Vampire Knights just puts them up there, close to the Sword Masters. Yeah, that's pretty close. I did move the Barrow Guard up close within the secondary as well. And into the magic phase, we cast a Pentagram of Pain, 2 dice, got 12. It's awesome. He let it go off and rolled a 6 for the hits. Killed 4 out of 5, fails his panic test, and he flees. And then we raise the unit of zombies over here, and we raise all of the knights back. And that's it for magic. So then we go into combat. The Swordmasters go to town, but they're still fighting 5. It's a pretty good deal for me. And the commander there, the BSB, kills a couple, and I crumble another one with the combat res. I reform again to get out of arc of those Sea Guard. And one thing I did think of as a sort of a contingent plan here, I did throw these bats up in my movement phase so that if he wanted, he actually couldn't complete this charge because he couldn't go around to get that angle. So. And I think that's it. That's the board as we're going into High Elves turn 4. So for High Elves turn 4, I guess we each got a token there for being within 6 of the secondary 2. And High Elves turn 4. This, his general there on the Griffin decides to charge the raised zombies up front. And he does. The Sea Guard over here, they rally. Where's that? The Sea Guard, the Sea Guard that had fled, they rally. The center Sea Guard move up. The Ryma Knights move around the back to face the varkolak. And the Swordmasters, they just stayed where they were instead of changing the view to just finish off the zombies. So there's that. They're just doing that. This guy failed his rally tech check and continues heading towards the edge of the board. And then we're going into... Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like as we go into Magic Phase. So into the Magic Phase, he casts the Oaken Throne, which I dispel. He casts Healing Waters, which he failed to cast. And then he did Favorite Melodies, which goes off, and he got the Awaken the Beast on the... I want to say it was on the Spearman at this point, with the Sea Guard in the center there. In the shooting, kills a Barrow Guard, puts some wounds on some bats. Combat, easily wipes out the raised zombies there. Knocks me down to one dude in the Barrow Knights fight. And we're going into Vampires turn 4. So, here's one that was kind of... I saw some things on this turn. The one thing here to notice is... Let's do this one first here. So, the Barrow Guard declare a charge against the Sea Guard up here. And he flees that charge. These bats that are right beside the Griffin there, they declare a charge against him as well, pushing them off the table. Now, they test to redirect the passive check. They go into the Reaper Bolt Thrower that's back there. And then I was thinking about this one here, because these guys can redirect into the front. But if I don't kill his general, I'm kind of stuck there. If I just go for a failed charge, he's on my flank probably. Those guys will come in, and it'll be the end of them either way. But, pulled out the trusty laser here, and those skeletons can actually just see the back of this Griffin. So, the Barrow Guard test redirect into the Griffin. These bats have to go in to make room for the skeleton brick to go in there as well. And all of that makes it in. The varkolak decides, why not? Let's stop messing around here and just go for it. So yeah, that all made it in. The Vampire Knights here, and if I go back a couple images, they were within a march test here. They failed their march test. Now I can actually just regular move and get out of arc of sight of these guys, but that leaves the bolt throwers a flank shot, as well as these guys a really easy charge that I'm not really too keen on, especially if he shoots the Reaper bolt throwers, kills the knights around me, challenges out the dude, combat res, he'll probably just wipe me out. So what I decided to do was just reform on the spot and head for the hills. Into the magic phase here, we did raise the new unit of zombies again, up there to threaten those Reapers. We raised a wound on the Vampire Knights. We did Pentagram of Pain, but he stopped it. And I think that was it there. And to the combat phase, the Chariot finishes off the last of the Barrow Knight. Over here, the bravest skeleton champion goes ahead, issues a challenge. He crushes him. He's got his 4. With my static res, I actually have 9, so he's down by 5. Fingers crossed, there was a big moment here. Fails the first one, reroll, and he passes it. Damn it! So, the Barrow, because the Barrow Guard here, they were in the front. They reformed to face on those Sword Masters instead. And now we're stuck in a bad spot. I get a token for being within 6 of the secondary though, so at this point I've pretty much secured the secondary objective. And we're going into High Elf turn 5. That's what things are looking like. In this fight back here too, in Vampire turn 4, the Rymanites caused a wound. I caused, I think, 2 wounds, and I got my vampiric roll, so I got a guy back. And then so into High Elves turn 5. The Sword Masters, they charge into the Knights, or the Barrow Guard, sorry. The Chariot charges into the Bats, and he's going to overrun and come into the flank. And that one's not looking so good. They all make it. The Sea Guard, I think they... the Reaver here that was fleeing fled. The Sea Guard come up here to get within closer range of the center, as well as take some shots at those zombies. Into magic phase, he did healing waters on the sword masters, which I dispelled, and then he cast favorite melodies, which he got off. Into shooting, he beats up on the zombies here a bit with one of the bolt throwers, as well as the Sea Guard. Picks off another knight with the other bolt thrower. We go into this combat, and this is where things get really bad. I knew this one was going to be good, but it got especially bad. So my vampire general is in that one too. I decide I'm going to issue a challenge. And he was a little bit worried, actually, that his guys wouldn't be able to put up a lasting fight against the vampire. But, you know, he could have just offered up his unit champ over here. Didn't. Goes with this guy. Accepts the challenge. Pops the Nova Flare. Uses that one use only. I didn't even know he had it, but I don't know enough about High Elves either to worry about these things. So he rolls his attacks, and he gets 4 hits, and he causes 3 wounds. No, I think he causes, 4 hits, 4 wounds. With the reroll save, I was only saving on a 4+. He causes 3 wounds. And just punks the general. Didn't get any overkill. I saved everything from the Griffin, but that was just... I didn't even get to swing. So I am now down a general in a really grim looking combat already, as well as that was my masters. So after this one here, he beats up on the Barrow Guard pretty hardcore, just causes a massive amount of damage. I direct attacks against his wizard as well as his unit champ in the other unit. He had directed attacks against my Barrow King, did cause 1 wound there. But other than that, I killed his wizard, and the unit champ, as well as I think I wiped out the back rank of those sword masters as well. I'm still down by a bunch, as well as I got to take my crumble checks. So after combat res, as well as my crumble checks, that's what that's looking like all of a sudden. Plus those bats are gone; they just haven't been removed yet. So a bad situation just went to worse really, really quick in this combat. And then we're going into, the varkolak fight there too. I think I caused another wound to him. He caused another wound to me. We're still there. And we're going into vampires turn 5. So vampires turn 5. I don't really have a lot at this point. What did we do? We declared a charge here. There were some zombies. They declared a charge, and he support shot the remaining that were there. That surprisingly passed their crumble check from losing my general. But didn't matter because he shot them rest. This Batstorm declared a charge and failed the charge. The Vampire Knights just reformed and moved up. They're just looking over here. And yeah, we went after that. That's kind of it. We're going into magic phase. So into the magic phase, I cast the Haste in the Hour, 3 wounds on the Sea Guard there. He let it go, caused 3 wounds, get a Veil token. And then I used my last 5 dice to do Arise on those Barrow Guard in the center. And that was my casting roll. And he dispelled it with ease. So I tried. They're gone. So yeah, he wipes off the Barrow Guard and the Barrow King, and they reform to face the center. The Chariot reforms to face this Bat Swarm. The General just stays put. That's all that's left of the skeletons. And the Rymanites finished off the varkolak this turn too. So that's what it's looking like going into High Elves turn 6. High Elves turn 6, the Rymanites charge the flank. The Chariot BSB charges the Bat Swarm. The Sea Guard just pivot to face and shoot at the remaining knights. Combat, well, no magic this phase because I did kill his wizard. The shooting phase, he rolls poorly with the Sea Guard, didn't do anything with them. Hits once with the bolt thrower, and we had to randomize it because I only had 2 knights left at this point in time. Hits the Vampire Courtier, luckily only rolls 2 wounds. So I'm clinging. It's not looking so good here, but I'm still clinging on. And yeah, combat, he wipes out the remainder of the troops there. And then we go into Vampire turn 6. I just move up to get within the secondary just because why not? I got nothing else to do. Magic, I killed off a couple more of those Rima Knights, hoping to cause a panic. Didn't happen. And then I threw the rest of my dice to try and raise back some wounds just to get above 25% on the Vampire Knights. Didn't happen. Dispelled it, and that's where we end the game. So, I mean, it was a really bloody battle. There was a really big different point there where it could have went very differently there for the vampires if that general had not passed his check. Probably would have been a very, very different game at that point. I would have just continued dancing around those Rima Knights, and I probably would have directed more attention towards the that chariot character as well and hunted him down. Just ignored the Swordmasters probably too, and taken the point win as well as a secondary, but that's how it goes. So we did up the points, and it was a 16-4 victory for the High Elves, but I did get the secondary, so in the end it was a 13-7 for the High Elves. It was a really fun game, and it's kind of a beat down there, but still fun nonetheless. Hope you guys enjoyed the battle, and hope to see you on the next one.